Bartenders are the cornerstone of our community. They set the atmosphere, shape the night, and turn ordinary moments into something unforgettable.
We love to watch them work, the rhythm, the craft, the precision, and we love to taste what they create.
But more than anything, we love to understand what makes them tick, what inspires them, what drives them, and how they got here.
Because behind every pour, every cocktail, and every last call, there's a story. And trust us, they've seen it all.
We're your hosts, Leanne and Blair. Pull up a seat, grab a drink, and listen to what this bar has to say. Hey, listeners. Our guest tonight is two-time winning mentor of the I'm Not Really a Bartender amateur bartender competition and the general manager, bar director at the bar at Echo Spirits, Derek Reno. Derek, welcome to the podcast.
That's me. Hello.
Welcome back.
Well, I'm happy to be back.
So we like to start some things off just to, loosen you up, get things going. We like to ask some rapid fire questions. So are you ready? You can true or false, multiple guess, however you want to answer.
I'll be rapid fire.
All right. So mixologist or bartender?
Bartender. But mixologist is cool. It explains a certain sort of version of things. I would never describe myself as it, but I'm not that mad at it. But I'm a bartender.
Chartreuse, yellow or green?
Both.
Okay.
Manhattan, up or on the rocks?
I didn't explain this on our previous podcast when we talked about it before as well as I would today, but the Manhattan and the margarita are the two cocktails that I always ask guests if they want it up or on the rocks. They're like the two that I just think are uncertain. And I followed the kind of patterns. It's up now, but it's been in between for the longest time. But I was skewed towards up.
Okay.
So is it Geneva? How do you say it?
We say it Geneva, and that's been kind of the working title or the working version of that we've worked with since the beginning. But we have this particular recording we use from the Dutch Spirits Council that describes the three acceptable ways, which are Geneva, or Geneva. And I just did it more impactful that time. I'm always afraid I'm going to spit on someone when I say that version, but they are all correct versions of saying it. The only one that's not accurate is when occasionally it's very few times, I'm like less than 5, where people have corrected us and told us that it's Geneva, which would be the only inaccurate version of it.
Okay. Boxers or briefs? Just kidding.
Briefs!
Just kidding. Okay, last question. What is your end of shift drink or shot?
Oh, that's right. We did talk about this last time. I could probably give you 3 if it was just strictly personal and just for comfort, just a Coca-Cola. I don't know that it's necessarily a group thing, but if Echo Spirits or the bar at Echo Spirits were to have a specific one, it would either be some sort of a version of a 50-50 shot, like either traditional ones like the Ferrari or the Newport, or a specific spirit the way that other bars like. I think I've shared this with you guys if I'm not mistaken. We like a spirit called Abruzzo or a Punch Abruzzo or Abruzzo Evangelista, which is from Italy, and it's a digestif. It's 90 proof, but it definitely is syrupy, or it kind of has a viscosity, but the taste is just like a deep bubble gum flavor, like a Hubba Bubble or double bubble gum flavor. Mm-hmm. And it has this very, very cool history. And if the Fernet of our bar was something else, it would be that. Mm-hmm. That would probably be ours.
I feel like you used that in one of the cocktails on the cocktail tour.
That's true. We did. Yeah. And it was one of the winning ones on the cocktail competition or the tour. But it's that's because it's personal to us. It's just our discovery that we like. Okay. And if we're going to share that moment and not too tired, that's what we'll have.
Okay. So we mentioned that you're the 2-time winning mentor for I'm Not Really a Bartender. This last time was a little bit unique because you mentored your boss, Joe,
correct. Yes.
For the competition.
Right.
What was that like working with Joe? And does he have a whole new appreciation for bartending, or what did he take away from it?
I can't answer for him. I hope so. I think I do know. I do have these recurring memories that at the competition that someone made a speech, a little like kind of mini speech about how much they learned to appreciate it's not just the creation of a cocktail, but it's the repetitive nature or the kind of consistency of doing that over and over and over. And I'm pretty sure that I shouted out, "You ain't never lied, bro." Something like that. Like I like just talking like me casually. But that was very rewarding to kind of hear that, I think. And I think the knowledge of being able to make the stuff that you need to make when it comes to custom ingredients or ratios or proportions or infused ingredients over and over and over and be able to replicate it even on a small scale like that for a competition. Yeah, I think that he understood that fully.
He seemed very calm and collected. Was he, or was that just a facade?
No, I thought that too. No, all I can say for my part on that both years is that the idea of being the mentor, I feel like that I should mentor the creation that someone else made. So it's the hardest thing for me, to be honest, to let go of the initial sort of steps and like my recommendations for that and just give them big picture ideas. And I've done that both years. I definitely have not over curated anything that anyone's made. I like to see what someone presents and then edit or curate that afterwards. And I think we had like exclusively that version this year and last year as well with Bill Teets.
That's our intention, not for you to do it for them, but to show them the way.
And I feel like other bartenders we would notice if someone else was overdoing it for their mentor or the competitor on that level. And it was extremely rewarding the first year, 2 years ago, the first time, so two times ago. And then with Joe this year, he brought in specs and ideas and sort of stories to his recipes based on just conversations. And then I mentored or edited from there. So it was his work largely, and I just I would not find it interesting to win that if that wasn't at least a high proportion of the reason why that cocktail existed.
Yeah,
and their idea.
Yeah. I agree. And I would think it would be, as you say, more rewarding because you've taught someone a craft and they've done it successfully under your tutelage. So
our interactions, our time. I wish we had more time together to do it. I think it could have been. I'm always searching for the next best version, but I think it was as good as you get.
Well, he won, so
that's right. That's also true.
Did it where it counts.
I do. I have a good video of that moment too. I'll have to show you guys later.
Okay. So is that going to be on your menu?
So the next menu is a work in progress just because I'm the only me there coming up in the next few weeks. I think that it could be.
Okay.
I think that it likely will be.
Okay. Awesome. So will it be listed as like a service cocktail?
Yes, we'll definitely put it as something that was from the event, from the rest. The one part, I don't know if I'm gonna call Joe out here or not, but the idea of creating a cocktail and being a bartender and making something that's going to be put on the menu, you got to come back in and handle that batch or the particular ingredients or the house-made stuff. Have those all put together so that it's all set in a way that we can use it. And I didn't have that yet, but I think it would be better to be on the next full menu, which will be out in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, awesome.
Next question. So you brought us some elusive herbal liqueur.
That's right.
So first of all, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, indeed, sir.
Cheers.
We reach.
It smells wonderful.
It does, and that's become. If I were to jump ahead, I guess I don't know. I would say for the last 8 to 10 weeks or so, I've made it a habit to just have a pour of the elusive, just as it is on its own, and not at work as well. I have to have it by myself and just taste it, and I'm proud of it every new week. Mm-hmm. Like I have to have like an 1.5 ounce pour by itself, and by everywhere else I just mean my backyard, and just hang out and just be able to taste it and kind of like take in all the components and the changes that go into the process along the way, and make it's kind of a quality control, but it's also just to stay connected to the spirit. And I'm still happy with it this many weeks in.
Well,
or months
the
in.
last time you were on the show, you were still in the research and development phase, let's call it, and it was called the Truce at the
That's
time.
right.
And we tried it then and loved it. But tell us about that process and tell us about the naming and why did it change names from the Truce to Elusive?
So the truce was the idea of just kind of a downplaying of green chartreuse and just putting in the idea of a shortened version and also an indication that it was kind of like an acceptance that we could not get green chartreuse or yellow chartreuse. I would say yellow chartreuse showed up as a harder to obtain item than green chartreuse as far as like distribution. That was the first note that I had. I have a very distinct moment when I noticed that green chartreuse from France was impossible to get, or nearly impossible to get. And it's definitely a shout out to a local bar that saved us from that. But as that kind of developed, we kind of came up with a handful of names. And honestly, Jesse, our bartender at Echo, was instrumental in that kind of like shortened version. We picked that. And then I think we would have been fine, except we learned the lesson that our descriptions, when we described it as a green chartreuse alternative or your last word alternative or these kind of like more specific brand based things, stood out. We got a cease and desist notice from the lawyers who work for green chartreuse in America. So the monks aren't. The monks only taste it once a year, one monk a year. They only make the one batch a year. They have the longest rack house in the year. They also only speak to each other when they're on walks every Sunday, and they're only allowed to speak to each other when they talk about God. So they just talk out loud about the Lord, but they're only allowed to talk to anybody at that time in that parameter, and they're allowed to write 7 letters a year at the Christmas time to outside family members. So we thought they maybe wouldn't. I don't know if it wasn't they wouldn't notice. We just didn't know. And then they have a lawyer firm in the United States that noticed that we described it too specifically. And so we went back into a kind of a retrofitting parameter of how we would name it. And Elusive was one of many, many titles. I think the best version is when you have like 20 or 30 choices.
Yeah.
And this was the version that we picked. And we'll, except for today, like out loud, but in print or in advertisements, we won't talk about it the same way. But it's only because of the last word. It's only because I like that cocktail so much, and a craft cocktail bar can't serve it. Is not a craft cocktail bar, and there's nothing that replaces it, and that's what we've used since.
I told you the monks would come for you.
They're lawyers.
Same thing.
It's funny. The amount of times they started sentences with the word "indeed" many times over, but it was
indeed.
Yeah, indeed. To start, it's like indeed, comma, the rest of the sentence. It's very dramatic. It's very theatrical.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, if I were to like just boil it down to one single thing that matters the most to us, it's only the last word. It's just that. It's that simple. I don't think that there's anything else that replicates it. Like if Campari had disappeared and we could use Aperol and serve Negronis, that would have been fine for me. Mm-hmm. I would have existed in that sort of realm. We tested them on. There just wasn't anything else that was chartreuse-esque. And it's the only reason we made it. So it's organic. It's authentic. It was just finding a need and filling it.
And we know you love it, and you should be proud of your product. It's great. But what kind of feedback have you been getting from others?
Well, I knew we have a new resource. It's going to promote it and market it on a higher level. Brand new, so this is so new that I don't know the rest of the details. But I mean, it's always been good. I've always enjoyed the just natural or just kind of organic nature of it. Like because before it was it was something I was just making in a giant Cambro, just for the bar, just for us. Mm-hmm. It was never an idea that it would be something that we bottled. And then shout out Joe and Nikhil, our owners, who realized that they noticed the guest reactions to it. And I am told this last week that it's one of our best sellers. It's doing well. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm happy if it works for us, for both the bar and the brand.
I feel like you've inspired a generation of bartenders to create their own because on the cocktail tour, we've come across many bartenders who are like, this is what the alternative to that other French green stuff that we created.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I brought with me today some cocktail books because Joe had said that he would sell them on consignment at your bottle shop.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
So I have 5 here for you if you want to take those back.
Joe just got called out on the air to be able to sell these. Yeah, we will definitely do that for sure.
Awesome. We really appreciate you guys
Yeah,
doing
we
that.
didn't know that there was going to be the whole page section for from last year's I'm Not Really a Bartender competition with Bill and I, right, with the whole elusive bottle on that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for that. Appreciate it.
We did some things differently with this cocktail book, and we're really proud of it. But they haven't been selling very well, so that's why we've enlisted the support of other people because 100% of the sales go to the bartenders who have recipes in the book, and we would really like to pay them out. So we're hoping to.
So what I heard was everyone else out there in the world is an idiot. Buy this book. Yeah. I'm like, I love looking through the books. They're time capsules to me,
and they're great ideas in there.
Yeah, they are. I mean, like,
yeah.
The propensity of Gary from Denmark that's in there is every time is fitting. Like, of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, and so he does have the most recipes in the book, and that's because we do that short north tour.
It's also deserved. Yeah. Like, that's my guy.
He's fabulous. He's the best.
He isn't without competition in the short north, but he does tend to.
We're there the
often.
most for sure.
Yeah, I go on walks I go on walks every night, but 3 or 4 times a month I go to the short north, and it's energetic these days. I don't know if I can keep up.
What's going on? What's new at Echo? I know you said your cocktail menu is coming out in a couple weeks or so. What else is new? Anything?
Yeah, we did. So our 5-year anniversary for the bar was a few months ago, and we did a menu that's kind of a reflection of, I wouldn't call it the best of, but it's just selected choices that represent all of our different spirits over that time. And that's always been tough to me. I'm not a fan of resting on your laurels, I guess, kind of description. I like to just I want to make new stuff all the time. And but it was a nice moment to catch our breaths and then create new stuff. And I've got really good recipes from everyone from at the bar that is contributed. And if there was any last delay, it's me with all the rest of the stuff. But we have our new menu coming up, which will probably be within the next month, 3 or 4 weeks. 3 on a high goal, 4 is more likely.
Okay.
But our biggest thing in August will be at some point between the second and last half of August, our sandbar, which will be our 5th anniversary of that. And all 4 of them have been our biggest days of the year.
And talk about that. That's the tiki.
Yeah, it's tiki or rum centric. I would go with specifically because I know that different definitions of tiki are kind of uncertain and sometimes troublesome, I suppose. Truly so, but they're definitely going to be rum centric, tropical summer drinks, highlighting the fact that Echo Spirits we're basically a rum and whiskey distillery. So our products that are rum based, it's our highlight of that, and it's by far the biggest. All 4 of the previous versions we've done have been the biggest sales days. We have outside events. We have steel drum players. My dream goal is to convince Joe and Nikhil to let me put sand all over the outside, everywhere. And every time they always ask me if I'll clean it up, and yeah, I will. But I would love it if everyone was out there just forever. Yeah, I just picture it just like your dance work, just like making little marks in the sand.
Maybe just get a baby pool full of sand.
That's true. A controlled version of that would be nice, but it's definitely the inside and the inside having a kind of closed off version of like. If you're like say you take Martin Cate's version of the tiki cocktail bar experience, the idea is to have a blank outside and a shocking inside. It's my goal every year, and the cocktails above all are the most important. But beyond that, it's just the vibe and the energy of it.
Yeah.
I push myself to the edge of death for it each year, but we really want to have an experience-based event for it each time. Whether it's the steel drum player or the Exotica DJ, we've had We did one time try a Hawaiian like hog roast, which is not fair, not very friendly to my vegan friends, as well as tough to service.
Yeah.
But we do
I love that
compatriot
idea,
sort of
though.
stuff, that we have, and we we dress up for it. We have fun with it. It's the biggest day of the year.
Let me know. I have some stuff for you because, as you know, we did a tiki themed gala, fundraising gala last year. So I have some stuff. I have some Moab heads and stuff that I'll bring by.
Then we'll definitely talk. Yeah.
Also, and we have lots of sand too.
We do.
Yeah. So if you need sand, let us know. Don't buy it. We have lots of sand.
Well, you already tempted me.
Seriously, because we did these like tiki-ish signs, and they were made out of old fence planks, and I put signs on them, like this way to 1.5 miles to Natalie.
That was one of my failed ones from last year. I even had directions to like my bartender's girlfriend's house.
Yeah, that's a good one. So we had to anchor it in a bucket, so we have sand for you.
All right, we'll talk about that for sure. I would say that's the besides the menu and that idea of coming. We also Echo Spirits is also have a partnership with the winery experience up in Powell, the Echo Spirits on the Vine, and I just found out today that there might be some new versions existing of that. So keep your eyes peeled for it.
So what's the place in Powell? What's that?
Powell is the Echo Spirits on the Vine, which has been closed for the season and will be back open. It sounds like I just found out today in late May, but it was the former Soive. I know that's my correct description of that name. That was a winery that existed in Powell, it's like in the middle of a neighborhood. Like smack dab up there. I went there for our owner Nikhil's dad's birthday, and it was a decent trek to get up there. But it's definitely like this neighborhood spot that was a winery, and they do have actual vines. They're actually growing. They have vineyards that they're making their wine from, and a Echo Spirits related component to it as well. And that just came about from one of our investors this past year. I'm not involved with that at all. I'm sorry, I don't know more answers, but
no worries.
It sounds like today that it's going to come back as of May, and there might be some collaborations with both anything from 451 Spirits. I can speak on certain brands, as well as Alchemy, the Alchemist Meadery, and some collaborations with Brothers Drake. But the rest of it, I will leave to the experts to tell us about.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about it off the air.
And you're still doing tours at the distillery, yes?
Yeah.
But you're not doing cocktail classes any longer.
The classes, because the tours have taken over some of those days, but they're on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays now. And book them on the experiences section of the Echo Spirits website. Okay.
And I went on your website today, and this box popped up, and it said, get something for $1 if you put your...
Oh, that's right.
What is that?
$1 snackery.
What does that mean?
Which would be, back to the question about your staff sort of like shot or your into the night shot, that kind of like staff meeting or safety meeting is definitely always often a snackery. But at the end of the night, it could be anything else. That's a version of just getting a small daiquiri and snack size version, which is still pretty much a daiquiri. But if you sign up for the newsletter, you get an email and you just show that, and you get a $1 snackery at the bar. And it's happened frequently. We have a lot of guests come in and ask for that.
Okay.
It's something from Joe and Nikhil from the sales side to just bring people in.
Gotcha.
And we're happy to make this. And it's not just always a daiquiri. It's our version of a daiquiri that we felt like that day. Which if it's mine, it's going to involve.
So it changes.
It definitely, it changes.
Okay.
And it's on the menu. Like that was definitely a bartender, not a handshake, but a staff shot, or the kind of the safety meeting story that's a kind of pretend term that we would say, calling a safety meeting, come together staff and have a shot. Various versions of daiquiris in a snack sized form. A snackery were things that we've made for a while, and we put it on the menu.
Okay.
That's fun. If it's mine, I'm going to put Chinar in there for sure. I think Chinar works great with rum and lime and sugar.
What's your favorite Echo Spirits spirit to work with,
Elusive.
other than your own?
The rum.
Yeah.
And various versions of the rum. But the spiced rum, for sure. But the template for all of those come from our spiced rum. Or I mean, just from our white rum, which I like. I like funky, vegetal, high-proof rums like Smith & Cross or Ray and Nephew or Rumfire. Rumfire at the least of that list, but I like that really funky, vegetal, and high-proof note. I think we have components of that. We also have another component of softer, easier, vanilla, almost notes of like even a Bacardi. So you kind of get the best of both worlds for that. And I think that using that as a jumping off point or a template for the other ingredients, including everything we've made since then, our spiced rum, our pineapple rum, our Queen Share rums, they all come from that base. So if I were to boil it down to one, the white rum.
Okay.
But if I were to really be passionate about it, the spiced rum.
Okay. I love
Spiced
your
rum and
rums.
elusive, yeah.
I love the rums. So it's just you and me here.
Yeah,
So
let's go.
And Blair.
And me. Yeah.
Do you really like the Geneva?
Yeah, how could this possibly? I can answer that realistically. Plus, I'm all about keeping it real. I don't know, and the truth of that is because we had COVID, COVID is terrible because we lost belief in science and people lost their lives and there's a lot of terrible things. There was a lot of parts that I liked about it. And it was the capability to really dive into like an exploration of whether it's an ingredient or a particular flavor without the rest of the world just like shouting at you. That being said, the Geneva, during that time period, we had all of these bartenders, and it was such a rewarding process, bringing different ingredients and infusions and flavors that we either provided or that they made. And I mean, we got stuff from all of our favorite friends on the list. It's even on the inside of the bottles of all of the Geneva. But I was so immersed with it that by the end of it, I was overwhelmed by this, like kind of the olfactory or the nose of the Geneva as well as the taste, that to this day, I'm not sure if I was overwhelmed by it or if I don't like it. Mm-hmm. I do.
I'd say the latter.
When it's used in a cocktail, when it's done well, it's very rewarding, especially if it's done unexpectedly. And another shout out to Jesse Iacovetti. He's really good at that at our bar. I avoid it myself because it's a taste that's too much for me, and I don't know if it's too much from the previous experience or too much from the taste.
The latter. I'm sorry. I love you guys, and I love all the
This
bartenders
is also
who contributed.
whatever. I'm on a puck. I don't
It's
care.
terrible.
The more we just talk this stuff, the best. I remember last year at the I'm Not Really a Bartender competition, Gary said something about hey, I love you, Reno, but not really sure I'm into that Geneva. I was like, yeah, heard. I understand. The part that I would espouse or shout out about it was this joyous experience that Joe and Nikhil had in Ghent in Belgium, where they had this really deep connection with this gin or Dutch gin creator. His name was Pol. And I like the idea that I like the history of it. And I like very much the story of how it led to gin and how it fits into whiskey and how they both kind of intersperse with each other. I could talk about that forever. Mm-hmm. Lots of nerdy details about it. But when it comes down to just the flavor, it's tough for me. Yeah.
Okay, so here's sorry.
But we have our pockets of people who love it.
I
like that we stick with it.
I also love the aspect of the fact that it was a local collaboration of bartenders and people coming together.
Tommy Householder, Christina Basham, I'm sure Jesse Hubbard, myself, Nate Howe. I know I'm going to leave someone out in the midst of this, but Sean Taylor as well. But
those are some that's kind of cool.
It was fun.
Bringing all those people together for that.
I have very good reflections of the experience that we had making it, and we wouldn't have got the version that we had without them.
I will say it is better than Malort.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I listened to your Noble Cup podcast, and I thought I was going to get asked about the Malort thing ahead of time. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yes
yeah,
or no?
probably so.
Malort, yes or
I
no?
think the answer to that, the Malort question is, if it's Malort or no, it's, are you afraid of Malort or not? I think it's just that simple. No
I'm
one,
very afraid of it.
it doesn't, I'll have it. I like it. I will.
No, you don't. Nobody really likes it.
My main takeaway from Malort above all is that I just feel remiss for Chicago, for Illinois, when it comes to like liquor laws, of allowing it to be an out of state, uncontrolled, like you could distribution could change. The everyone that I've ever known in Chicago that has moved there and I went there to visit takes me somewhere to have this dare shot, and they get Malort. And I was probably a disappointing version where I wasn't that shocked by it because I like bitter sort of ingredients like that. I wouldn't desire it. Like it wouldn't be something that I wanted to have, but I wasn't scared by it. So I think it's more, are you scared by it or do you like it? Because no one really likes it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the lingering. It's the long. Everything you taste for about 15 minutes tastes like Malort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the
fuel.
it's like the old brown bottle of Listerine. And you're supposed to spit that shit out.
That's right, and that's true. And it wasn't. They did fake it.
It was
as a
before the
medicine for a
minty,
while. That's
fresh
true.
green flavor. It was just the brown.
And I've also I heard all of your podcasts have talked about Sweeney's, who I love as well. But it's such a commitment to be the challenging bar of that perspective. I can never know because we're a distillery representing our brands and
Sure.
the products as well.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of Malort though. I was a disappointing trip to Chicago for my friends who gave it to me.
So when you're not at your bar, what bar do you like most in the city?
I like it like that and everything at Natalie's.
Okay.
To be I would go over, above and beyond that. I did think about this one, the culture and the ideals as well as their business sense that Natalie on down and everyone that works there. I adore what they're doing over there from top to bottom. It's not necessarily about the craft cocktails, but everything else
good.
that matters more. Yeah, which are definitely good. Yeah, they mean what they say and they say what they mean. And I really, really like that. If PJ Ford is ever, wherever he's behind at a bar, he's my favorite bartender in the city besides me. I'm kidding about that. And then I don't know. I like the comfortable places. If I were to pick a comfort place, St. James. I like St. James Tavern. I feel, not only do I feel comfortable there, I feel comfortable playing pool there, which is a bit intimidating at certain places. But
Yeah.
that'd be my comfort version. And the truth is, I don't go out enough as I should have before. But if I were to espouse one place, it's everything that Natalie's bar group is doing.
Okay. Cool.
So I'd love to hear any fun, salacious stories you might share.
Ooh, I did remember we've done that before, but I thought of one. If we can just be off the cuff. Do you remember when this is definitely not an "I told you so" thing, so don't take it that way.
All right.
Remember when the Sheena, the Beaujolais, we had a debate about it. It was the group that you guys brought into the craft cocktail tour that was the teachers.
Okay.
And we were discussing the Amaro and how to pronounce
Yes.
that version.
Yes.
I have the answer for you, and we're technically makes us both right. It's not Italian. It's a French Amaro.
Oh.
So Beaujolais is the CHINA-CHINA that we were debating the Sheena or the how did you say Kina? It was based off because you've been in Italy, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's why it's because it's French.
Ah.
It's
that makes sense.
That simple. I was so enamored or so thrilled by that after the fact when I realized that we were both right.
Well, that's good to know.
Luckily, we don't have many of these. But if I were to tell one that I can compress into one story, can I go backwards to the end of the COVID times?
Sure.
So we used to have this dude. His name is Sam. I don't don't have to be protective of him. No one knows who he is.
That's a pretty random name.
He started to become troublesome, and we really don't have these experiences there. There's very few times we have to kick someone out or ban someone for life. But this guy, he would come in and I would notice he seemed to annoy guests, especially female guests, which is very important to not have that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And after the second time we noticed it, and so I just went up and told my other bartender, I was like, I'm going to call this guy out and tell him he can't come back, which I've only done maybe three times max. I did that. He stood in front of the door and just ripped off all of our signs about wearing your masks and stuff and just kind of like snarled at the window. And I was like, okay, that's all right, but don't come back. And the dude waited 3 months, maybe 4 months, and he grew a beard and he came back in disguise and was sitting at the bar. And I walked by him and was like, Sam, was that beard supposed to be a disguise? Because I recognize you. And we kicked him back out. And then he went out and he just did like a bunch of spins in the front of the street, in front of the road. And we haven't seen Sam since.
Oh,
that's the best I can come up with for now. But the other one is much better.
Well, just tell it.
I'll tell it to you. Off the.
No, tell it now.
Do you edit this? Do you fit these into like a? I'm pretty long-winded.
Yes.
All right, let me give a pause to it. So it was last Saturday. I got a phone call from a guy. Actually, I got a phone call from our bartender, answered it and said that he had been there the night before. Could he speak to the manager? I also have all of it recorded if you want the whole version of it, because it was crazy. I'm already questioning me telling this story. Basically, he said a bunch of accusatory stuff towards someone that was at our bar and that he was there. I confirmed he was not there, nor was the bar guest that he was describing. And he made a bunch of accusations at one point. The best one I would give to just paint the picture is that he told me at one point, I was trying to understand why he was mad at this guy that he said was stumbling out of our bar. I was like, I'm not sure you need to call about that. Or if he was there, they weren't. Is that he told me that the guy he was talking about, who works for a major group that matters to us a lot in Columbus, was building playgrounds and parks for children, and he was a 49-year-old gay man. And I interrupted him and told him, that's insane. You can build parks for people and be a gay man. That's the craziest thing to say. And basically it was just, I would categorize it as a giant, wild QAnon thing, but he has called the police to our property 3 times recently.
What?
And we didn't know that until this guy called me and spoke to me about it. And I asked him, I was like, are you the guy why do I keep getting the police showing up at our place at 3 a.m? And it's because he's reporting stories about a guy at another club sort of bar near us who has shown up to our bar, but he didn't. But he views it as a troublesome thing, but he somehow attributed Echo to being a part of that. I told you that story it was just gonna be that was the most condensed version I got too.
So a man calls your bar to complain about an event that didn't actually happen. He
Correct.
was just a homophobic
Yes.
asshole.
Yeah, it's a hateful thing that I do not want to be a part of.
And now he's like swatting you or whatever because you were
I think he thinks that we're partnered up on it because we had our conversation. I played it. I let him give me more information, and he did a lot. It's scary. It's a wild thing. I wish it was every bit as close to the story about the knife from before. If you remember the last salacious story that Sean and I told, I'm not repeating that one.
I don't remember that one.
I'll have to listen to the old episode.
The last story I remember from Sean Taylor was when the guy shit all over the floor at Denmark.
That's right. This one's. We don't have that many salacious stories, so I'm happy to have to. That one, I don't think that one was dragging it out, but it's so specific to the kind of weird stuff you deal with in industry that it's not as interesting as that. No one's done that. I wish. At the Pearl, when I opened it, we twice caught people having sex in the bathrooms, just opening the door. The same server both times. I didn't see either of them.
Oh God, crazy.
Salacious wise, yeah, that's the best I got.
All
and it's a
right.
good one, but I'll leave out the details.
Well, Derek Reno, thank you so much for being our guest again. We'll have to go back and count, but I think you're the most. I think you've been
Hey,
on
you
our
get what you get what you get
podcast the
with me.
most.
We also would be remiss if we didn't ask you to tell us about your bar hours and specials that you have and happy hour or
Yeah, we're open. We're closed Monday and Tuesday. The Spirit Shop would technically be always available during those times, but from the bar perspective, it's 5 o'clock every day thereafter. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and 1 o'clock on Sundays till 7-ish. That's what's posted on our doors. And we're open till 10 on Wednesdays, 11 on Thursdays, and midnight on the weekends. And we've got happy hour currently just from 5 to 6 each of those days. But I think I will go ahead and I'll make it public right now. I think we need to extend that. So keep your eyes peeled. Well, they'll have a extended happy hour coming up pretty soon, which is all of our craft cocktails for $10 each, half off beer and half off wine.
And for those half dozen or so listeners who don't know where you're located, what's your address?
Oh, it's more than that. Like the amount of people who have shown up and said I've never had any idea you were here. And I was like, oh, where do you live? And they'll tell us they'll be able to point to their house over on the side street. That's slowed, but it's happened frequently. But we're at 985 West 6th Avenue. If you picture the Five Guys or the VW3s on 5th Avenue and in Grandview, we're tucked in right behind there.
Right.
We definitely a hidden gem.
Yes, you are. Awesome.
The gym part being the most important.
Of course.
Well, Derek Reno, thank you so much for being our guest. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A big thanks to our producer, Greg Hansberry, and to the biographer for our original music. Visit our website at columbuscraftcocktailtour.com for merch, tour dates, and gift cards, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Seabus Craft Cocktail Tour. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps. Until next time, remember to drink responsibly and stay cocktail curious. Cheers.
This has been a Last Call Productions production.